guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kyuujin, and today we're back with you for Vinland Saga, episode 21.
Yes, last episode we met Canute's father face to face, and it was a game of politics. It was about who was gonna attack first. So Sweyn tried to provoke Canute, and then when that didn't work, he tried to provoke Askeladd. He doesn't know anything about Thorfinn, because if he knew, that would have worked, but Askeladd had to concentrate not to do anything. They managed, and Canute won that fight, per se. Now we're on our way to York, where there's gonna be a banquet, a feast to celebrate Canute, and we're afraid that there's gonna be a doo-doo situation.
But is it
red
an
wedding
old
type
friend in York right now?
Yes, that's the one thing we were reading, and we missed that Leif is in York currently. I don't know if he's still gonna be there when we show up, but since we're coming close to the end of season 1, I'm kind of hoping you'll get a glimpse of Thorfinn.
We might face each other then.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't know, but we're going to where he was at the end of the last episode. So yeah, this is where we are. Let's jump in this episode and see how the plan will go and where our character, what our character will do next. Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these episodes, and check out our Patreon for the full-length reactions.
Alright, let's go.
No, straight up. Okay. So is it going to be a big episode then?
I think so.
1014年現在、ヨークはデンマークバイキングの支配下にあった。この地を起点にヨーロッパ
So
全
that
体
would be why Leif is looking here.
I mean, wrong type of
気
slaves.
持ちもわかるけど、お情けで奴隷を解放できるほど
Reunion?
11年も経ってるんだ。
They don't know if he's alive, they don't
潮
know
時なん
anything.
じゃないか。
あの時わしらは無事では済まなかった。報いねばん
And he kind of promised the family was going to bring him back. I need him to see Thorfinn.
なんだ。
おいこら、そこの汚い貨物船。
King is coming? Prince is coming? We're here?
先頭の船がもう。
Just look! I swear I'm so nervous. If it's a situation where like he looks left, if it's a situation where he looks one way and we're on the other way,
Oh, come on.
双方の人と物がここに集まります。新王朝に拠点を構えるおつもりなのでしょう。良い選択です。
interesting new look, man. He can either recognize Thorfinn or recognize Askeladd.
迷惑な連中だぜくさ。
True.
船尾の方やってくれ。
He's just there. Did you see? He did see. He saw Askeladd.
Yep.
And Thorfinn would have been right there.
間違いない。
So where is
Do you
he?
think that he would be able to recognize Thorfinn? Because he changed a lot.
トールズを殺したあの海賊だ。
で、王は明日の宴席で仕掛けてくるぞ。
それなんですがね、我々が後手に回るのは明白でしょう。例えば殿下と別の領地を与え孤立させる命令でもある。
It's gonna be a game.
逆らえばクヌート王子に範囲あり、煮るもや
You gotta play carefully.
ですよ。
トルケルを奪われるのは
I'm having a hard time focusing on this while Leif is right there.
座して待つだけか。
何もかもばらしてみるというのは
バラす。
クヌート殿下。
Oh.
今あなたが
Who's the target? Canute?
撃たれたぞ。
It's not a plan for getting followers.
Like, what if he got shot here? How that would change things?
マジかよ。
I hope so.
仕事だぜ。
Well, he let it happen. He saw it coming. Thorfinn was right there too. They let it happen to make him a victim.
関わり合いにならねえ。
Just look, he's right there.
あいつがいた。
He's right there.
なんじゃおい。血が出てるぞ。
Dude, he's just right in front of you, man. Can you recognize him?
Of course you'll recognize. Come on.
I mean, it is Thorfinn, but it's not Thorfinn at the same time. That kid changed.
I know. Oh shit. Shit. There's too much happening. Dude, come on. He's not recognizing him at all?
何の騒ぎだ。狙撃の犯人じゃない。
こいつだ。凶器もある。
狂気ってそれ？
貴様も仲間か。いや、わしは。そうはいけん。全部罪をかぶせてやろうって腹なんじゃろ。
俺じゃねえっつってんだろ。
目を見りゃわかる。
He's Canute's bodyguard.
アクトゥーの連れで。
Oh. And he's got Thor's Weapons.
チビで若くてもしかしてあんたトルフィン・カルルセブに
Yes.
フィンナイフ2本で挑んで勝った男だよ
The
We
word
got a
spread.
reputation now.
殿下の家来だぜとすいません
Thorfinn.
もしかして出身はアイスランドじゃないかね
It's been too
He doesn't
long.
recognize him.
トルフィン
Yes. 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 He changed quite a bit.
You just got old.
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
It's not over, but come on.
お召し物を切りますぞ
It's not. Wait. He picked a woman?
そうじゃないかな
You're kidding me.
No, gosh.
It's the same woman from back home, right?
バカ者
They expected his father to shoot him. So that's why he was wearing this. Okay, they aimed for the one with the helmet.
なぜ女なのだ
Because you look like one.
手に入りませんでしたので
Slaves were used like
助かり
this.
そうか
場所が場所ですし
すまぬことをしたらそのものをいたわって使わせ施すのだぞ
I mean, is it the same slave from
I don't know if it's the
Askeladd's
same.
hometown?
I don't think they had time to go get one.
そうこうしましたな殿下あなた様にあだ名さんとする者が潜みおるようですぞ
Can't trust anyone. And we expected something to happen at the feast, so if the father prepared for him to be on his guard at the feast, he would have tried before.
野郎は必ず俺が殺す父上の探検でな
He changed quite a bit.
戦場を生き延びて子を見てきたに違いないこの子を救うには11年間を否定
He's
し
not the same.
ヴィンランドは今父上が生きたがっていたもう村の一つも作ったか
残してきた母と姉のことを
Maybe because it's too painful.
ヘルガの具合は一層悪くなった顔を見せてやれ
Still alive.
それが薬だ
俺は
He has to focus on other
ええこ
things.
とをベラベラと
おいこらどこへ行くトルフィン
You still have family left,
国へ
man.
帰ろうトルフィン十分だろ
He's putting himself in that hell.
It's never gonna be enough. Even if he kills Askeladd, it won't be enough.
あの日から今日までの何を知ってるってんだああアステラットが食いくそ垂れてる間は十分じゃねえ十分じゃね
He's last memory he had of him was a little kid who listened to his stories.
気だった幼子がわしはこの町にいるぞトルフィン
It needs to happen. You had your chance, man.
いい部屋じゃねえかビョルン
He said that he was dying, that he was not gonna recover too.
お前に詫び入れたいって言ってたぜ
きっと切られたわ恨みっこなしたぐじぐじ根に持つのは
True.
いいから行けよ匠の時間なんだろ
He will play. He knows him well.
アシャと足の具合はどうだ
きっとくれ剣を使うのに触りはね
なら明日
え分かった明日
He's gonna die tonight.
It's looking like he would.
出し抜かれたなアシェラッドか
He's a threat.
呪いをかけおったわ
殺されたって
違うよ
物騒だね決められやしないよ
Word is spreading. People are talking, rumors and stuff.
消せねえのはさとのかってことだよ
いや偉い人なんだ
Yeah, but keep wondering.
この町にはスベン
Is
兵
he more important than the
とに
prince?
かけんならそっちだろ
確かにな
お世継ぎは2人おられる
わざわざ次男の方を狙うってこと
That Canute would be more important, even more important than Sweyn, like the future of the country.
噂程度の話
話
He's really
が
good.
ちょうどいいのです証拠は突きつけずこしてやる方がいい
But let the people talk.
取ったのはおめえか
Ah,
自作自演じゃねえか
makes sense.
噂を流すだけじゃダメだ噂は真実味を持って広がるデンマーク王家の跡目争いは皆知ってる暗殺未遂と噂これがどう影響するかな
なるほど不利になるような命令は下せなくなる
Master
殿
manipulator
下から奪ったり噂の後押しになります
that he's trying to have him killed.
人気商売です苦評は捨ておけんでしょうってのは特にねそういうのどこで教わるわけ
Years of pretending.
だけが戦じゃねってことだよ
Can play a game of the mind.
これで当分の間は来ぬかもしれん 時間稼ぎには良い策だ。だが私の身代わりを立てること。
Thank you, because that bothered me a lot.
申し訳ございません。
Especially since he hired the assassin, so he knew what was gonna happen.
税を味方につけたようなものだ。
それはどうも。
お話が
And he doesn't trust the brother, so
私はちょっと用足しい。
Do you gonna talk? Talk
speaks
to
loud.
the enemy?
信用してはなりません。スベン王に通じています。
Or you can use that to your advantage.
根拠を言え。
が間違いないでしょう。
やばくね？今の話も知られるぜ。
知られてもいいことしか話してねえ。今の話を今夜中に伝えるでしょう。トルフィンに尾行させています。
患者であればどうする？
泳がせましょう。短期決戦を望んで
false information.
王陛下側に知ってもらいましょう。情報なら信用し安心する。
He won't see it coming.
私の作戦は完成。
He's really good.
楽しみですな。
王の家か。決まりだな。
I'm disappointed. Ragnar would not love this.
騙し合いに夢中か。
That his
His
brother.
brother's betraying him. Yeah.
Yeah.
俺のやることは一つだ。
They are sitting up the finale, and the tension is.
どうしてもってわけかトルフィン。腕が治ってからの方がいいんじゃねえのか。いいけどな。ほらどっちでも。
Looks like Merle with his
Yeah.
arm.
たら決闘は終わりだ。双方良いな。
I don't know, man.
Oh no, Thorfinn wanna go for the kill.
戦略がありまして、じきここに。
Oh, Bjorn.
I think he wants to die on a deathbed. Just he wants to die fighting. Like kill me in battle. He's gonna get
I
to
mean,
go to Valhalla and all
That's the
that.
greatest hunter for a Viking, yeah.
始めよ。
That's why he asked him about his leg. What a warrior! I'll say that.
あんたは強くて、あんたを尊敬してる。あんたが嫌っていてもな。なあ、アシュランド。俺だけじゃねえ。死んだ仲間たちの自分自身でさえも
Everything Dane.
寂しくねえのか。
Great question. Great question.
俺はさ、あんたと友達になりたかったんだよ。
I'd like to think that even though he was lonely because of his hate, he still find Bjorn basically. Because he is a separate category from everyone else.
No, he's still a Dane.
He's still a Dane, but
急所を外しちまった。すぐ楽に。
oh, please say yes. After all this time, please say yes.
お前はたった一人の友達だ。
Told ya.
At least.
送ってくる。
さて、待たせたな小僧。
I'm sorry, but it seems like it's not the right time after this.
遊んでやる。
Oh, farewell, Bjorn. It's the type of episode I kind of
That's-
expected later in, like, pre-finale or finale, where we still have, like, 3 episodes to the season, yet the tension just kept going up this
You
episode.
know it's gonna be good then.
Oh, yes.
You know what, guys? It's such a sad but beautiful farewell to Bjorn's character.
He needed to die fighting. And the fact that it was Askeladd and he got to hear... Because, okay, yes, you're right. Bjorn is different in the way that he got Askeladd early on and he still stayed by his side for the right reasons. Like, he wasn't following Askeladd because Askeladd could give him what he wanted, because he promised him riches, because he, took him places. Because, like, if your loyalty depends on what you get from the friendship, as soon as you don't get anything, you betray the
you're not a
friend.
friend, yeah.
So that's what happened with all the others. As long as Askeladd was bringing them money and fame and all of that, they were fine following him. But when they couldn't explain his moves and he wasn't making sense and he just, like, his goals switched from theirs, they betrayed him. Bjorn chose to follow Askeladd, and now to hear him say that, he got that Askeladd hated Danes. He hates himself. Like, I'm pretty sure he means he hates the Dane side of him, because, like, he exists because of
But,
all those atrocities, right?
Yeah, but because of everything, basically, yeah.
Yeah, so the fact that he understood that, and he understood Askeladd's purpose and where he wanted to go, and he still chose as a Dane to follow him. And the fact that he said like, you must be lonely rejecting, because he lives surrounded by Danes, so he, in order to get his goal, he puts himself in this hell that he created, just like Thorfinn. And he ends up being very alone. Like, he can't make friends with anyone because he hates all of them. And so he chose, despite the fact that he is also one of those that Askeladd hates, to stay by his side and try and be his friend. So for Askeladd to be like, yeah, you are my one and only friend, I'm like, oh, Naruto vibes, man. He got to hear it in the end, and he was nice enough to send him the way he wanted to be sent away. So, and I like that because the world isn't black and white. You know, you might say you hate all Danes, but not all Danes are evil. So the hatred that he's feeling makes it difficult for him to live among those people, but he's not also completely blinded by his hatred that he won't see a friendly supporter or friend in one of the Danes that followed him. Because that's how life goes. Just like Thorfinn, we keep saying that yes, he hates Askeladd and he rejects him completely, and every possible chance he gets, he wants to defeat him. But when Askeladd gives him great advice, he shouldn't spit on it, because it's not, Askeladd is his enemy, but he doesn't, not everything about Askeladd is bad. Sometimes he can actually help. So there's good and bad in everyone, and to completely put someone on the dark side and say they're evil and I reject everything they are is a bit foolish. So I love that we saw a more mature way of dealing with the hatred.
I do love that we always make parallels between characters, like
that's the point.
Askeladd and Thorfinn. And when Bjorn told Askeladd that you must be so lonely and all of your hatred,
so is Thorfinn.
Same thing with Thorfinn.
Yes, because he's so, like, it's not, in this case, it's not that he's surrounded by enemies, but he kind of is, because those enemies are friends with Askeladd. But now he's got Canute and he's got others, except he, like, when he's literally face to face with someone from his past who he cares about and he should be happy to see and stuff, his hatred,
push him back,
Yes, his hatred makes him completely alone, and he puts himself in that hell because he needs to focus on that. Like when Leif was telling him, you didn't ask about your mom or your sister, which I'm glad they're still alive, and I hope we get a reunion in the future. But he's like, you're not asking about them. I'm like, of course he wouldn't, because to think about his family that is still alive out there, it's going to make it harder for him to stay. It's going to make him harder for him to focus on killing Askeladd. So yeah, I guess that's why he doesn't ask about them, because to remind himself that yes, he still has family, and to think of them would make him want to go home, and he can't do that. Like, he needs to stay strong, but that's so much to put on your shoulders. And how sad is it to see Thorfinn reject Leif like that? Like, they both changed so much that at first they didn't recognize each other. Leif would make sense. Like, Thorfinn changed a lot. And to us, to me, it was like, it's obvious it's him, but no, it's true. He's not a copy of his father.
I mean, it's 11 years ago, so yeah.
Yes, but sometimes, like, you see people and they're like, you're like, oh, you look so much like your parents. It's obvious. But Thorfinn doesn't look, like, he's got too many features from his mom, yet also too many features from his dad, so he's a mix of the two, so it's hard to tell.
But yeah, he was a young boy who grew up,
and everything about him changed.
But it's the fact that all of the battles, all of the death that he went through, he changed. Like, his soul changed. You can see it in his eyes
and all
so
that.
So of course you wouldn't recognize, you won't associate that man, that teenager, with the young boy that you knew back then.
As for Leif, like, he didn't change that much, but for Thorfinn, who was a child and he's been through so much, like, to him, those 11 years probably felt like a lot longer, so he didn't recognize him at first. But I'm glad he at least got to see him, and now he knows he's alive, and he's told him, like, he's gonna stay here for sure. Like, there's a season 2, he's not gonna go back home right away, but at least Leif knows he's alive, and he can bring back those news to his mom and his sister eventually.
Guy, your boy is fine, I guess.
Well, he's alive.
He's alive.
He's alive, and he's but it would hurt to be told that the reason why he's not here right now is because he doesn't want to come back. Like, he wants to stay out there for his own reasons. Like, he feels he needs to kill Askeladd, which I'm like, it's hard to tell him that no, you have no right, or it's trivial and stuff. Like Bjorn was saying, Thorfinn is the only one who keeps a grudge when someone dies on the battlefield. But like, you kind of stole. Like he doesn't understand what you understand. Like when you're facing a warrior on the battlefield, sword against sword, skill against skill, and you both went there with the purpose. Like you went there knowing you were either gonna get killed or you were gonna kill someone. It's kind of like a contract. Like you both agreed that one or the other is gonna leave, but not both. Thorfinn was a child. He wasn't expecting anything. You got ambushed.
He was too young to understand what was going on.
And yes, and you
got impressed badly by what happened back then.
Yes, and for a child, you in his mind, you stole his father. Like I know that Thor didn't fight back per se. Like he let it happen. There's a lot about that Thorfinn doesn't understand, and he might hate his dad in a way because of that. Like there's so many conflicted feelings, but he's a child who lost his dad, and he didn't enter this contract. Like he didn't shake hands mentally on that. Like he wasn't expecting this, and he cannot make peace with that yet. He's not at that point. He's just lived in rage all these years. So it makes sense that he would reject Leif. It makes sense that he would not let that go. And as an adult who's been through a lot of wars and you chose to do that, like you chose this path for yourself, to compare yourself to Thorfinn is not really fair to the kid. Because he didn't choose this per se. At least he doesn't think he chose this. That's the one big thing. Like we can say, dude, at the end of the day, you're the only one keeping yourself here, but he doesn't see it that way. He sees it as his responsibility.
It is mind-blowing what we can do to ourselves, you know? Because we've been saying a lot of time that everyone is a slave, enslaved to something. Maybe like physically by a master, by greed, by money, by revenge. Thorfinn is enslaving himself by his own need for revenge. He has the key to his own freedom, his own happiness. But he's not gonna use it.
No, but that's the thing. He is a slave to his emotions. But he's also the one holding the key. He's just not realizing that. But he's young still. It's gonna take time. We keep saying that. Like that's the one thing we say every episode. He's not there yet.
He's not there yet.
But oh gosh, the emotions though. Like Leif being so close and me thinking they were gonna miss each other, but they actually got to see each other, and it's worse because Leif knows, but he also got rejected.
He knows for him that it's not gonna matter what he says to Thorfinn won't matter because he won't come back.
Well, he did say he was going to stay until he changed his mind. Like, he wants to give him some time to think things through and realize that he's giving up home, safety, family for this. But we'll see. Speaking of slaves, quickly, I really did not like the whole choosing someone to die for Canute.
I can understand that you take a double to protect the king or the prince.
Not when you
when
intend to hire an assassin to take the shot.
Yeah.
You picked, I like that Canute was saying, never again, because you literally let someone die in your place, and you were also behind the assassination attempt. So for your own plans, you took someone's life away who didn't have a say in this. It's not like someone proposed themselves, I'll take over. So it goes to show that, what they think of slaves and what they can be used for. We knew that already, from this show alone, episode 1, how we saw that slave almost die running away and stuff. Their life is horrible, and the way they use them is despicable, and I like that Canute wants to put a stop to it. He's not changing history, he's not abolishing, slavery at the time, right now, but at least he doesn't want any slave to die for him in this way.
Innocent bystander to die for his cause.
Yeah. So I kind of like that, but that aside, because I can look at this objectively, it makes a lot of sense. And at first I was a bit confused. I was okay, is he aware that the king might want to assassinate Canute and he's letting it happen? He wants him to be hurt and stuff, but that would make no sense. You don't want to risk the prince dying to make a point, right? So the double makes a lot of sense. And I thought at first that they put a double there, hoping that the king was going to try and kill him. So to send a message.
You took the first step. You took control of the narrative, and you hired someone to be the assassin then.
Because the purpose is still there, but they didn't leave it up to chance. Because the king has an advantage in the way that his forces are all around. He prepared for whatever he has, planned for the feast that he wants to throw. And so they needed to make the first move and control the rumors that are spread, and that was genius, and it is working.
Gossip can be dangerous, guys. I mean, people will believe anything that they heard from somebody else.
And it makes sense because last episode the king was saying that, you know, the king has power, but the crown is truly in control. And we were saying that the crown represents like the kingdom that you serve, right? It's the people that ask things of you. So if the people are whispering and saying stuff like, oh, like he might be trying to kill his son, and they're not in agreement, the power of your crown will shackle you and stop you from doing what you want to do.
Another slave situation then.
Well, he's slave to his crown and power.
Sure.
But so he won't be able to make a move quickly because of the rumors, and he won't try because he thinks that our people are trying to stick around for the long haul. Like they won't be, like he believes that they won't be planning anything shortly.
Do you think though that the king will know that we are someone to shoot our prince?
Well, he didn't do it, so what? So what? It could be someone trying to kill like Canute without any affiliation with us, but what can he do even if he knew it was us?
True, but I mean it's a well thought plan that people won't expect you to shoot your own guy, you know.
Well, it was the double.
In a way.
It was the double.
True.
But yeah, so basically the king won't be expecting anything happening soon, and we're getting ready. So in the following episodes, we'll have to do something quick before he has time to plan anything. So yeah, it's a race, and it's being won right now. I think it's being won by Askeladd, who's a genius at this. So
do you think that with what happened with Bjorn's death, with his last fight with Askeladd, that maybe changed something with Thorfinn?
I don't know, and I don't think so.
No.
I think he's so blinded by his rage. He didn't look like he was about to change his mind. And he didn't say anything about Canute saying, like, if I say it's over, it's over. He didn't respond to that, because it's going to be over when he kills Askeladd.
Yeah, when he's dead, yeah.
So we're going to jump in the next episode and see how that goes, but the way Askeladd says, like, I'll play with you, as in, like, he doesn't believe it's going to end here. Like, he's indulging the child. Whoo! And I mean, Thorfinn is not at peak condition. Like, his arm is still broken.
Both of them are not at peak condition.
True, but Askeladd knows how to play around with that injury. Thorfinn is just reacting on anger, and he's still manipulable. So we'll see. Okay,
Alright.
so that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching it with us. If you want to see the next episode right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
And if not, the next one will be on YouTube next week.
Yes.
So see you then, guys.
Bye.